Welcome to our video on how to use Knowledgehook. This is John Luca.
And Sarah.
So we're going to start off with landing on your D2L classroom page. In the math folder, you're going to open it up. You'll find the Knowledgehook app here. So you're going to click on it. And if you're not signed up yet, you're going to go to sign up, go to teacher admin, and then enter your school board email, create a password, agree, and then hit register, and then follow the prompts. Okay, that's all you need to do. You'll have access to the premium Knowledgehook account. All right, those of you that already have Knowledgehook, all you need to do is hit teacher, log in with Google, or you can enter username and password, and it'll bring you to this landing page. What we'd like you to check is in your profile. If you go to account settings, double check that your school is updated and that your school is linked to Waterloo Catholic, because there are several schools, especially with saint names, that other school boards have. And then you may not have the premium package. And when it comes to the Knowledgehook entry and exit assessments, you may not have those popping up in your featured activities. Okay, so have a look at that. Make sure that's all up to date. All right, let's go to my classroom next. So here, when you're creating a class, you're going to hit this button and come up with a class name and then select the grade. If you are teaching a split, select multi-grades. Okay. All right, Sarah, you want to talk about the featured activities?
All right, so once you created a class, you can go in and I was going to use this demo class, but I just changed my mind. I'm going to go into this one because I want to show you the featured activities, and some of them are specific to our board, like that exit assessment that you can see there. So that's why I didn't want to use the demo one. So when you first log into your class, the landing page are these featured activities. You can change your grade. I just changed mine to grade 6 because I wanted to show you some of the EQAO resources that are here. So these are the featured activities across here. So you'll find these EQAO released questions that you can use, and some games. These ones here are games that you can play. Warm-ups are like types of things you can use for diagnostics or just like a minds-on type of thing. And there's different ways that you can assign them. So I'm going to click on this fractions one here. And then there's multiple ones with fractions. So comparing fractions, equivalent fractions, adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Let's go with that one. I want to do adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So it gives me an option to play a game show or to assign a mission. So let's say we were going to play a game show. I would click on this. And this is like Kahoot, if you've ever used Kahoot before. That's what the game show is. So you invite your students, and then they need to be on their phones. The questions will show up on the screen, and you play a game with them. Okay, so it works just like Kahoot. Alternatively, maybe you want to assign it as a mission instead. So we'll go back to that same one, and this time instead of game show, I'm going to say that I want to assign it as a mission. You can select the start date. So if you want to plan for the future, you could put a future date in there. You can have a date that it's due if you want students to complete it for homework. You can assign it to everyone in your class, or you can just assign it to individual students. So you'd click individuals, and then you would click which students you wanted to assign it to. Assessment mode, you would click if you only want the students to have one attempt. Otherwise, if you don't have assessment mode clicked, they will have multiple attempts to answer the questions. So if they get it wrong, they'll be given another question to try. And I'll show you how that'll show up in the report at the end when we get to that. Okay. And after you assign the mission, you'll hit launch. And then your students, if they're already joined in the class, it'll show up on their end, or you can give them the class code or whatever if they need that. Okay, but then it'll show up under your activities. The entry exit assessments, those are the ones I was talking about that are board specific. They will show up here for every grade. So every grade has those, and they're only available for a limited time. So when you see that the entry assessment or exit assessment in staff announcements is available, look at the dates, because after that date, it won't show up here anymore. Okay, it closes. And if you're teaching kindergarten, I'm just going to flip over there. You will only have an exit assessment. So there's no entry assessment for kindergarten. So just look for the exit assessment and the information in staff announcements of when it's available. And then the last thing in the featured activities are exit tickets. So the warm-ups were more of like diagnostic and minds-on, and the exit tickets will help you see how well your students understood the concepts that were taught in a specific lesson. And same as the warm-ups, you can assign them as a mission or as a game show. And then Gianluca is going to show you how you can make your own activities.